This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited, fueling growth for people.
Welcome back to the Bahamas Tonight Weekend. Ambassador to the United States and permanent representative to the Organization of American States, Dr. Elliston Raming, will lead a Bahamian delegation to the Organization of American States 43rd Annual General Assembly in Antigua, Guatemala, set for June 3rd through 7th. The General Assembly assembles some 500 diplomats and delegates from the 35 countries that constitute the OAS, as well as non-member observer delegates. At this year's high-powered hemispheric meeting, some 100 items are on the agenda. Among them, small business development, the elimination of all forms of racism and discrimination, hemispheric safety and security, and protection of senior citizens. From the Family Island tonight, you may have heard about the pothole roads and forest fire issues facing residents in North Andros. Well, they believe more attention needs to be paid to their plight as soon as possible. Some of them spoke to our Julian Gibson about their issues.
North Andros residents feel they are being slighted, from the bad roads to farming issues to an alleged lack of jobs in their community. They want their concerns addressed soon.
The hurricane season coming up, and our seawall, we need our seawall to be desperately fixed. You know, it's a disaster, our seawall. That's all we got to stop the seawater from coming over to the graveyard, all about in the people's yard.
I am a farmer, and I think that $9,000 quota what they got on farmers, you know, I think that need to be removed. And the situation now, what's going on to the parking house, you got to make appointment to get your stuff into the parking house. And we never used to have to do it before. It's poor. The farming situation in North Andros is poor. It ain't that Andros can't produce. They can produce, but when we produce it, where are we going to sell it? 3 years ago, I just started growing onion back this year. 3 years ago, I lost $5,000 worth of onion sitting in my yard, couldn't sell them. This year, I lost 2 fields of cabbage because they refused to send me a license. And when the license did come, the cabbage is already destroyed. I couldn't sell them. I sold 30 cases of cabbage out of acre cabbage.
Andros is way back in the world, you know, and we need to bring some jobs, man, you know, employed, man. People dying bad, you know, and you know, we need it. You know, if only just a farm job, you know, that'll do.
I would like to see development. We need international developers. You know, when I was growing up, we had farmers that if you walk from one wind road to the next, you can get a job. We want something like that happen, that you're not committed to one job. If you're not being treated right on the job, you can just leave that job and go to another job. So we expect jobs to come in North Andros very soon.
The Member of Parliament for North Andros, the Honorable Dr. Perry Gomez, had a town meeting with residents of Andros recently, but they want to see a plan of action now. Reporting for the ZNS News Network, I am Julian Gibson.
ZNS News has learned that former Financial Secretary E. Heard Cunningham passed away. Mr. Cunningham had a long career in the public service. He served as former Deputy Permanent Secretary and Secretary for Revenue in the Ministry of Finance and served on numerous boards in both the private and public sectors. Most recently, he was a board member for the Water and Sewerage Corporation. And that does it for this portion of the news. Stay tuned, though. Julian Gibson is up next with sports.